All right, welcome everybody. Just making sure the sound is okay before we get started here. Happy Monday. I was about to say Wednesday. I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna wait one more minute before we get started. Welcome, welcome. We've got Hobbs behind us. Got to show you him before we start. Little sleepy goose. You wouldn't know he was here. Okay. So, I don't know if you can hear it. It's raining in LA, which is very rare. So I'm really enjoying this different experience today. So, welcome. I'm Jamie Wozni. I am a light activation guide. So I use my intuitive gifts to serve you in activating your light, to serve you in feeling safe, shining, being seen, being heard, moving from this paradigm of good person, good girl, good boy, right? To real, to authentic, to align, to share your magnificent gift of your soul with the world. So I'm glad that you're here joining me. I'm going to be doing these in YouTube. That's what happens when you're on so many different social media platforms. I'm going to be doing these YouTube lives every Monday, 11 Pacific. So today, just a short little hit of soul in your day. Let me pull up my notes here. So today, this is a two-part thing. I wanted to share some wisdom with you, and then we're going to do a little practice together. So before we begin, let's just ground in and slow down. Just close your eyes and take a deep breath with me. And just feel that physical connection between your body and what's under you. But I allow myself to just slow down. Probably one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn. Just slowing down, being present, feeling your body on the ground, breathing into your belly. Entering that sacred doorway to the divine. Can really agitate our minds. Good. And I invite you, as you're here with me, to become a bit more conscious. Could you put your hand on your heart? Maybe both, one on the belly. And could you just slow down a bit here with me? And could you start to bring some deeper breaths into your belly as you're tuning in and listening? So first, I wanted to share a story because most of you that join me are healers and light workers and divinely gifted souls. And I know the journey when it feels so scary to come out of the spiritual closet, when we have these psychic gifts to share or otherworldly gifts to share, intuitive gifts, and we don't grow up where these gifts are on tax forms or we go to our counselor in high school. What do you want to do in college? And none of the intuitive arts, none of the magical arts are available for us. So to fit in, to stay safe, to be considered enough, we have to pick something that's kind of close to what we are. And we might not even know who we are yet. I didn't. I picked a journalism major because that was, I'm a channeler. And so writing was the closest thing, this channeling of spirit was the closest thing I could find. My soul guided me there. And so I'm sorry for your pain in that regard because we all experience that. And I actually had a friend the other day that found this article where there's a witch in the UK who actually put it on her tax form. And so I was joking because I was talking to my mentor about that, saying, man, there's not, even life coach, or originally I was a Reiki master, and it's like there's no titles for us, but that's changing. And so as long as there's a place in the world for you, regardless of if our world has caught on to that. Those of us that are here are visionaries. We are ahead of our time. And the more that we can find groups like this that are like, oh, you see me, you get me, it's safe to come out of this spiritual closet and share my gifts with the world, um, the more we help others feel safe doing the same. Now, this is the part I wanted to share. If this is, where you are. So one of the things that I've been doing for years is an animal communicator, which can also be known as a pet psychic. And it's the least weird thing in the world to me because it's just as ordinary as being an accountant or a dentist. It's just, this is what I do. I tune in beyond our actual language, beyond the physical, to intuitively what's going on with the animal. And I don't meet people in person. I do it over the phone. So that's even weirder for people's heads. But I've noticed over the years, and I'm glad I've been able to have this contrast to be able to see it, because this is what I think is so important for any of you that are kind of afraid to be fully in your gifts. I've got nothing on it. I've had to work through stuff over the last 10 years of being afraid, of being caught, trapped, locked away, thought is crazy, all of those things that we go through as I've come into my spiritual gifts. But I realized somewhere along the line, I healed a big chunk of that because I am so out and loud and proud about my animal communication ability, because to me, it's so obvious. And if someone doesn't see it or understand it, because in my energy field, I'm okay with it. And I'm just so, not even okay, grateful for it. It doesn't, no, this is the important part. Because that's my experience of myself in the quantum field, it doesn't reflect negatively in my experience. I don't get people challenging me with it. I don't get people saying weird things to me about it. And if they do, like I was actually with a group of people last night and they were telling stories about, they always refer me to the people they meet out and they're like, we have a pet psychic and she's amazing. And they were saying, yeah, and sometimes we get these looks like, okay. And it's funny because you carry a wound inside if you're like, oh God, that's so embarrassing. This is so shameful. I can't believe I do this and I don't fit in, or whatever it is that we're working through. But I kind of just giggle and I go, yeah, it's typical, kind of ahead of my time. And one day this will just be normal. We'll go to the vet and the pet psychic at the same time and we'll all collaborate. And then I work individually one-on-one with these clients, and of course I get it because I've been on this journey too. And on another level, I'm working on other things that I might be triggered by not communicating with animals. When you're okay with your gifts, the world will not reflect back to you a whole bunch of judgment, rejection, you being abandoned, all the things that we're afraid of. When you find within your heart acceptance, love, even gratitude now, like I think it's the coolest party in the world. And like last night I walked into a group of 20 people and my friend was like, this is Jamie, the pet psychic. Mind you, I do lots of other things. But not for one moment, like I was proud of it. I was like, yeah, I'm the one at the party that has this really cool party trick. And if anyone there were to be like, it wouldn't bother me. No, that's not to say other things I'm working through would, but my point is, those that I'm working with that are afraid of coming out with their gifts, we're so afraid that we're going to trigger people to have, whatever it is that we're afraid of in our reality. But I'm here to tell you that there is a reality where you can be totally safe in your gifts, where you can unconditionally love yourself, where you can be grateful for it. Will that happen overnight? Maybe. Is it a healing journey of just becoming aware of what your fear is? And this is my medicine always. Okay, what am I afraid of and what's the path? I'll pray. What's the medicine and what's the path to heal it? Okay, I just noticed I've got shame around X, Y, and Z. Great. A healer will come into my life. A book will come into my life. My mind will say, okay, Google this thing to overcome this fear that you have. So to me, it's a beautiful thing to know that when we are in our full magnificence, when we're in our light, when we are in our gifts, our fear of triggering others doesn't happen. But before we're in our gifts, our brain's so afraid because it's trying to protect us from all our trauma. It goes, no, don't go over there. You're going to trigger everyone and everyone's going to hate you and everyone's going to judge you and everyone. Now, that'll be the case if you still have all this self-judgment, self-doubt, self-criticism going on. Then we attract those people that are going to reflect back to us what we have going on inside. So not a bad thing, just a thing to be aware of, like, ooh, I must have some weird thoughts of my gifts because I'm attracting that reality on the outside. But what a beautiful thing to know that, wow, there is a version of reality where I do not trigger, I comfort. I do not rub the wrong way, I liberate. Because I've had this thing, I've taught a lot when I was teaching Reiki for a lot of years about protection, and this conversation we have all the time about protecting our energy. Our protection, like, it's not to put up this wall around ourselves to not let people in. Our protection is our heart, is our light, is our self-acceptance, is our self-love, is our non-judgment of ourself. Because that stuff doesn't even hit our field. And if it does, I'm telling you, there's a version where we're like, because it's not even in our field to believe it's true. So it's like we're in outer space and this little rock hits us and it's like, ooh, and it just like floats off into no gravity. And we can't imagine that reality to be true, but there is a version of that. So whenever you are in situations where you feel that shame or you feel, my last video, one of my last lives was on meeting that pain. We meet the pain, we do the healing that's required. We tap, whatever healing modality comes to us, because when that clears, we're just not triggered the same way. So there is a version of reality where we can feel safe doing our gifts. And that is in the deepest and most radical self-honoring, self-love, self-acceptance. Because that is our armor. Because energetically, we don't pull in people that we're triggered all the time. Or if we do, it just bounces away. I mean, what a gift of a place to exist in. So, now that I've shared what's possible for us and to hold space for that as we're doing the healing work, there is an incredible modality, which I'm going to walk us through a very short practice of, that allows us, once we go, oh, I can start to feel safer, and oh, I'm not going to trigger, I'm going to comfort as I am more myself. I'm okay with being myself. It gives us more permission to connect in with our heart, because sometimes we're afraid to hear what our heart says, because we're like, if I hear what my heart says and I go and I create this business, or I share my authentic truth in the world, I'm not going to be accepted. And then it's this little we're caught in. But once there's a softening around it with what I just shared, we can go, okay, I can connect in here because I can hear what it is that I need to do, because I know in that place, I'm actually the safest. I'm actually the least triggering when I listen to my heart. So this practice is called heart-brain coherence. And they have neurocardiologists that are teaching us these days that we can literally tune into the energetic field of the heart to rewire our brain. We can tune into these higher feelings of love, compassion, care, kindness, forgiveness, courage, dignity, all these, and there's more than that, all these spaces of the heart to send these emotional signals to the brain to undo all of these old neural pathways of fear, self-doubt, shame. Now, we can hear this and think, okay, I got to override all these ick feelings. No, we have to welcome the ick feelings because they're part of human experience. But what helps me is when I'm in the ick, you got to just surrender and welcome it and let it move through you as energy. Pray for the healing modality that helps to move that energy, or the therapist, or whatever it is for us. And then once our mind's a little bit calmer and we're a little bit more centered, we open up to more. We can open up to, okay, I'm going to tune into my heart to create more. I wrote a book called, which it's not out yet, but Set Free Your Longing Heart. And the first half of the book is about healing, and the second half is about expansion. Because we can't just sit in the ick of our wounds 24 hours a day, which that's needed. It's this beautiful integration of both. And also we can't just visualize without looking at the pain and holding it in the light of our awareness. So we intuitively feel into when is a good time for me to do this. So we don't have to force ourselves when we're like terrified or this or that to be like, change, change, change. You'll know when you feel a little bit, you don't have to feel awesome, or perfect or blissed out, but when you're a little bit less down your rabbit hole and you're a little bit more centered, it's a good time to do this, okay? So join in this practice with me. We'll do a little 5-minute practice before we end on this beautiful rainy day in LA. Put your hands on your heart. And thank you to those of you who are joining me live and shifting the frequency of consciousness. If you have any questions while you're here, you are welcome to put them in the chat. So just close your eyes, and all we're doing is putting our hands on our heart. This is called heart coherence. We're allowing our heart and our brain to connect, to send wonderful healing signals to the body. There's so much science behind this. It's not some far out there nice thought. Hands on the heart. So we're just going to breathe a little slower and a little deeper into the heart. Because now we're like, oh, it's okay to connect to my heart, because when I'm okay with me, others are going to be okay with me. But bless us, when we've been taught the codependent way, we thought, well, I need to make you okay, so I'm okay. And then as an adult, we say, thank you for that survival mechanism. I needed it. But I'm shifting now into the truth, the spiritual truth, that when I am okay, I'm okay. And that when I'm okay, I soften those around me, not because I need to, but because that is my divine gift to the world. So long, slow, deep breaths, just into the heart space, as if your heart was breathing. Slowing down, just being present to the moment. As you're slowly breathing into the heart, we bring about a heart quality. So we just take a moment to remember a person, an animal, nature, or a memory, a moment in time where we felt a heart quality. So the easiest one for me is appreciation, but you can do joy, kindness, care, courage, love, forgiveness, or just a gratitude for your pet, or a trip that you went on and it was so beautiful in nature, or a moment in time. It's that first sip of that almond milk latte from your favorite cafe. Just slow, long, deep breaths into the heart, invoking a heart quality, a feeling. Just letting your heart tune into this feeling for no reason at all. Just this practice, breathing into the heart, focusing on the heart, invoking a heart quality, shifts your entire energy field, draws to you that which is in alignment with your truth so that you can start living your freedom, living your magnificence, rewiring your brain to heart qualities. Just resting in the heart space, invoking this heart feeling, sitting with it, letting it expand. As we tune in and say, heart, I'm listening now. I realize that when I connect your subtle wisdom, I do not trigger a comfort. You are my armor. This softness, this gentleness, this light is my protection. So I can let my walls down. I can let my frozenness down as that never was fully serving me. And I thank my armor for its time and place as I needed it because of my trauma. But I'm making a conscious, sovereign choice now. I am in my body, and I'm choosing to breathe into my heart and learn to listen to my wisdom. Breathing into this heart quality and letting this permeate my entire energy field, 2 feet around me on all sides. Let it spread. Let this sensation of love or appreciation or care move through the whole body, turning on all the beautiful neurotransmitters and rewriting my cells, letting my brain know to relax. For here I am the safest. One last breath into the heart, knowing that you can take this 2-minute practice with you every day. Focus on the heart, breathe in, invoke a heart quality. Whenever you feel ready, you can slowly come out of the practice. Thank you for those of you that joined me today. I hope you learned something new, feel a little bit safer, connecting to your heart and shining your light as that brain is wild and it's going to tell us don't go there. But then when we have others who've come to the other side of it and they're like, whoa, I'm proud of what I used to be afraid of. And what's that all about? You can know that you can hold truth for yourself until you come over onto the other side. So once again, you guys can join me live every Monday, 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. If you want to find out more about me, my website, jamiewosny.com, or my Instagram at jamiewosny. I have spots for a couple more one-to-one clients. Right now, I only usually take 8 every 6 months to a year. If you really want to do a deep dive, look at where your blocks are from what it is that you want in your life and what your soul's calling you to. I assist people with my psychic gifts to really help you move into your full magnificence. So you can book an exploration call with me on my website. You'll see the button. And also, I'm so excited. The other thing that I have a wait list for right now is I have a live retreat 2 months from now, May 22nd in Ojai, California. It's a whole day, 9 to 5. Amazing nourishment of food, meditations. It's an event called Manifesting Miracles. We have this beautiful sanctuary we've rented for the day in the peaceful mountains of Ojai. And we're really going to do a divine intervention of like, okay, what am I tired of creating in my life? How am I going to take my power back? And what do I actually want to manifest and create? And what healing needs to be done to move it? We're going to have some sound healing, some dancing to assist us in moving the energy. So if that resonates with you, I would love to have you there. So excited about it. And that is on my Instagram bio at Jamie Wozni. There is a link in my in my link tree that says Manifesting Miracles waitlist. So we'll pop you on the waitlist for that. And then when I post the recording of this, I'm also going to put the link for the waitlist in there as well. So when we make that page live, you'll be the first to know about details. So thank you all again for joining me. I'm sending you the amazing vibes of this rainy day. Let me know how that was for you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post it on the page. I'm sending you all lots of love. Bye.